briefly with Matt instead of me is
Yeah.
Deathstroke issue 3, written by Christopher Priest and art by Joe Bennett.
Yeah. So this is just basically Slade hanging out with his daughter Rose, who was, brought up in the last issue, and she works basically as an anti-hitman. Like she gets calls from other people. Like there's a hit out on one of my people, like a crime syndicate. Can you go stop the hitman? And so she realizes early on that it's not a regular job; it's an ambush, and they play with her premonition powers, that she can kind of see where things are going before they happen. And so she gets out of that jam and meets up with her dad. They have like a night where she hangs out with him, and he's very critical of her and is like, look, if you're going to go into the family business, you need to take it seriously. And there's flashbacks to what had happened when he left for Cambodia in the last issue with Wintergreen. Um, Basically, a bad guy came in when Jericho. What's Jericho's real name? His young
Chris?
son, not Chris, but basically comes in looking for Slade, and not Y2J, Pete. It just hit on me
It took you a while,
uh,
Matt.
because I'm recounting the story and I'm trying to think of his real name. Anyways, um, and his son ends up as collateral damage, and you can kind of see that they cut his throat, which plays into the Teen Titans, because we know in Teen Titans we're getting the retelling of the Terra storyline of
You mean the Judas contract?
the Judas contract, yeah, and he plays a big part in that. So, and we see that the wife was upset because she ran off after him, leaving the son there by himself, and she basically puts a gun to the back of the head, and you see him lose the eye. And it's, the art is really well handled, and it ends with basically when they trace back who had ordered the ambush on Rose, and they end up with a bunch of this money, and Slade's like, well, you can't go cash that because these are traced bills from this place. And Rose's like, well, what's that supposed to mean? And he's like, well, and he gives her this lesson on how money's printed, and leads with them going, or it's Slade and Wintergreen going to Gotham City. So it was a little bit of a takedown from the last issue, which again, it's a middle. This is issue 3. With the rebirth, it's 4.
So the pacing's a bit
But
slower in this one.
yeah, the pacing is a lot slower, and the way that I'm picking up the Priest writes things, it's almost like a novelist where there's stuff written in between. Like we're supposed to be picking up on other stuff as it's going on. Like he's not spoon feeding us a lot of this. So I definitely think it'll read better in trade. I'm still really enjoying it, like the art and the story. I'm a big fan of the character of Ravager. So, and by the way, it's Joey, his son, that not Chris.
Okay.
That's Joey Wilson, Joseph. So, just clicked. But yeah, so I definitely enjoyed it. Again, seeing Rose, and she doesn't have the eye patch yet, so I'm sure that's to come. Should be fun.